So if you've checked out the other videos, if you've been involved in the comments, you know I get involved in the comments and I actually see and read all of those. And so I'm aware that this series has been a mixed bag amongst fans. There are those that feel it's way too exposition heavy, and I think that's a fair criticism. There are those that think that the acting isn't right, and I would push back to that heavily. I think that most of these characters are very well cast. And I would argue that for a lot of the over criticism of this not being the quote unquote Game of Thrones that a lot of people seem to have wanted, y'all, it's a kid's show. Like, it's a kid's show with young actors. Even Game of Thrones aged up its youngest characters so that they could get older actors to portray them because they were dealing with heavier concepts. This show, I think, does a fantastic job of remaining true to the spirit of it being a kid's show, but certainly bringing it up a notch. Like, there's some brutal scenes in this. There's a lot of, people on fire that's, ouch. And while a lot of my reviews have gotten, a couple thousand people checking them out, which is great. Thank y'all so much for that. Prior to the season coming out, I did 2 videos on setting the expectations going into the series, which, by the way, nobody has really watched or checked out. So I'm going to attach those at the end of this video because I feel like it will help you understand the way in which I stepped into watching this series. And I think that it provides a better framework of going in, recognizing what this is. A lot of these actors are children, and they're going to grow into the roles that they have if given the opportunity. And thankfully, sounds like the series has been picked up not just for season 2, but also for season 3. And I have no doubt that the seeds that have been planted here in the talent of these young actors is going to continue to grow and blossom throughout these seasons. So is there some clunky dialogue? Is there some rough acting here and there? Absolutely. I'm not going to say that there's not, but I also recognize that we're dealing with performers who are very new to their craft. And so I give them a lot of grace, and I think that you should too. I'm excited to see how they grow and where they go with the characters and with the series overall. And my final thought to those that have watched this series and have not enjoyed it because it's not as good as the anime. Don't let great be the enemy of good. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the source material more than an adaptation. Case in point, my daughter is obsessed with the Harry Potter books and has her wild critiques about the movies, but still enjoys the movies for what they are. Captain America: Civil War, fantastic film, very much enjoyed it. But is the comic book that it's based off of far superior? Absolutely. These two things can exist together. And I think that if you go into these things with the appropriate expectations, you can enjoy them for exactly what they are. But anyway, that's been season 1. Can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts. Head over to the comments. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're excited for season 2, what you hope maybe changes, and what changes do you hope they continue on. Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it.